This is it, folks. The final week of stage one invite. What's up, y'all? My name's Ro. I'm here with the Unicorn Wizard. We've got Giblert on the analyst desk and Dr. Underscore on production for this hot match between Catgirl Cafe, not Catgirl Posse. Oof. Catgirl Cafe versus Estrogen took my homie, the team that's running things down on this Snakewater match tonight. Unicorn, what's up? Hi. Say hello to the people.
Hello, how are we doing?
Doing excellent. And actually, we're going to be shipping a lot of our our pregame talk right now to the main man Gibbler, who's over here with my man's took notes. He got prepped for this match so y'all can get the info, the stats, know exactly what we're dealing with tonight. Gibbler, talk to the people. Say hello.
Yeah, how's it going? Trying something new on Fireside here. Trying to do a little bit more pre-game work. Just a little pre-show for everyone. Give some ideas what to expect from the match, perhaps. Yeah, but predictions, some history, some of that. Look back at some of the past events that have been going on in the league. So just trying to give you guys something to chew on before the match gets started, as you know, these always do take the time to up.
We're looking for those patterns to see what we can do to, help ourselves with that prediction, y'all. If you're in the chat, if you got any channel points, you can just throw that prediction that way. But wait till you listen to these these analytics coming out from Giblert before we get there, and you'll be primed to win that prediction. But let's talk about our first team, Catgirl Cafe. These players. Excuse me. Sorry. There we go. The Catgirl Cafe posse, which will be Mopsy and Gwendolyn on scouts, Grape Juice and Nabla as the soldiers, Averted on demo, and June Medic. Talk to the people, Gibbler. What has this team been doing this season so far? Past 3 weeks.
Yeah, of course, this team started out in quals, one of the two quals teams, along with Rome, to qualify for 8-team invite this season. Went 1-1 with Rome, so very close with the other team that qualified. Came together at the last minute, really. You had most of these players didn't really have a team going up to the deadline, kind of came together, formed something out of nothing, and, qualified for invite. And so far, not off to the greatest start on paper. Have a 0-5 record, but if you look at how close a lot of these matches are, I mean, lost to Cat Posse, the Battle of the Cats, 0-1. Played LeBron Stantinople 1-3. Greasy Dot Hogs, one of the probably top two teams in the division right now. Only gave them 3 rounds, made it, gave them some trouble even in their match on Goalie Wash. Just messed up a few of those last pushes easily, could have made it even much closer than that even. But overall, not bad, and looking to, get a win into Phase 1, which will have some impact on the seeding as they go into Phase 2, the group brackets.
Yeah, so on top of that, this team, the record they've been pulling through, who would you say is like a player to look out for on the Catgirl Cafe? What's the star lineup here? What are you feeling?
Yeah, so what I think about Catgirl Cafe is they're not really, there's no real standout star player that's just dropping insane numbers every game. I think the strength is kind of, they just have pretty good comps talking back and forth. Everyone, has a lot of experience, has played the role. Everyone has some invite experience. We got Mopsy, been playing, off and on in the low invite for about 5 seasons now. Gwen also played about 3 or 4 seasons. Juice now, I believe, 3rd or 4th season in invite. Averted played the last season, of course, in June. European Prim players. So everyone's got, some experience in invite. Everyone's got, there's no, newcomers here like there are on some of these other teams in the low to mid invite range this season. No one that's really like putting up the insane numbers. It's not like there's like this one carry player. It's more just, it feels like a team effort. And even, I think that also carries into the comms, having to, watch some of their games on Grape Juice's stream. It doesn't feel like there's quite as much direction as far as like having a main color that's really directing all the action compared to some teams. But it feels like there's a lot of talking back and forth. You have Gwen, Grape Juice, and Mopsy all putting in a pretty substantial amount of comms themselves, talking back and forth, as well as additional supporting comms from the rest of the cast. But yeah, I think that can be both a strength in the sense that, things are balanced. You have all the perspectives, all the eyes on different things. It can also be a weakness and lacking some of that decisiveness at certain times.
Roger. All right. Let's kick things over to our other team tonight. Looking extra spicy. They've been, these are all the names that I love to like read out. I'm just like, oh yeah, I know that guy. Oh yeah, I know that guy. Estrogen took my homie. We got Scream and Polly, the scout duo. We also have Electra Heart and Quacks, the soldiers that are coming in hot, doing that good old bombing thing. You know what it is. Demo is Sleepy, also excellent. And Pablo, been some nice surfs lately. Been watching that, looking real good. Talk to us about Estrogen took my homie.
Yeah, I mean, this team's been around for pretty much forever. Been around for 4 or 5 seasons in RGL, playing like that top advanced, low invite range. They kept most of the roster from last season. Last season they had two different soldiers. They had Apathy and Loaf on soldier now, Quacks, newcomer to invite on soldier, and Electro Heart. Also, also known as Avril Lavigne fan at 95. You know, so I mean, keeping most of the roster together does give them some of that extra synergy. Compared to Catgirl Cafe, they have a lot of players who have to get them to pass, but not really as like all the same roster. So only really switching out their soldiers for Estrogen took my homie, so it could be an advantage for them.
And then the other thing, I'm gonna ask it again. You know, this team maybe not quite as many sorry, let me back it up real quick. This team might have, you know, a couple standout players that have shown up, you know, been those MVPs, putting those numbers out in recent seasons. But what would you say is like, what's the player you're looking forward to watching in this match? Maybe they're not the standout, but they are the player you want to watch from Estrogen to my homie.
Yeah, I think a player to really look out for, Quacks, being his first season of Invite so far, been putting up some pretty good numbers. Got their first win last week, or maybe this week, against I believe it was Rome, which was Quacks' former team. Had a really close match, 4-3. And similar to Catgirl Cafe, they're another team that, I mean, they only have a 1-5 record, but if you look at all their matches, most of them have been very close. Scraped by Rome, just barely lost to LeBron Constantinople, one of the 4 or 5 range teams, so pretty good team there. Then had that nail biter on Bagel went down the last couple seconds in the last round, round 7 of Bagel. So playing really close in some of these matches easily could be like 3-3 right now if things had just gone a little bit differently. So rate them just because the record doesn't look so hot to start with.
And then on top of all that, Gibbler, we're looking at Snakewater. What team do you think has the advantage going into this, right? Based on previous experience or maybe scrims they've been doing? Where does it stand? What are we looking for here in terms of map advantage?
Yeah, I played against previous iterations of Catgirl Cafe, obviously much different team back then. And also played against Estrogen and took my homie on several iterations of them, some last season. Again, it's hard to really say the current season. I haven't played against the current versions on that map, but I gotta say, in the past, it just felt like Estrogen took my homie was a little bit better at Snakewater. Um, I feel like one of the issues it felt like was especially on the bagel match, just dealing with some of the chaos. It felt like they're losing the med a lot. The other med died 13 times, their med died 22 times in a 40-minute game or something like that. So just had a lot of trouble keeping their med alive during all that chaos, all those different house flanks, all that sort of aggression. But Snakewater, much more easily controlled map, I feel like, especially compared to Bagel. So I feel like that definitely favors them. I also compared that to Catgirl Cafe. I think what we saw in their goalie wash against uh, Greasy Dot Hogs, that's a name, one of the top 2 teams. They did pretty good in that match, but it just seemed like there are 2 things that really killed them. One, the last pushes. They missed a couple opportunities there where it felt like the post fight was really spread out. And then also a couple opportunities where someone just got behind free, just unwatched. And I feel like in a way, this also is maybe a little bit easier for Catgirl Cafe to deal with compared to that. It does feel like it's a little bit easier to watch things on Snakewater, so we'll see how that plays out. Snakewater is probably one of the more neutral maps in the game. It never feels like any team has a massive advantage on it. It's just a very stock standard map. But it is both these teams' first time playing this map this season in a match, so we haven't really seen a whole lot on this map so far from them. So be a new look for both guys.
Yeah, clean slate, so to speak. No record to show in terms of Snakewater in previous weeks. We're also in the final week of Stage 1, Gibbler. I hesitate to say that the structure of the invite season is a headache, but it can be a head scratcher. Why don't you kind of explain where this match stands, or at least where the playoffs, as it were, Stage 2 is looking after this week? If you want to give us a
Yeah.
rundown of that real quick.
Yes, quick rundown. You most likely, unless barring some miracle, we have the top 3 going to make the upper bracket, the Group A. We've got obviously Froyotech, the Covenant, and Greasy.Hogs. And then you have two teams kind of vying for that fourth slot, which is going to matter a lot potentially. Cat Posse and LeBron Stantonopel, both very close in record. It's going to come down these last couple games. And then the last three spots, these last three teams fighting for seeding right now. We have Estrogen, Took My Homie, of course, Catgirl Cafe, another team we're seeing tonight, and Rome. And all, pretty close together in record right now. So it's really going to come down these last couple games, which team's going to get the better seed, and eventually those better map picks come for the second stage.
All right. Unicorn, Wizard, my friend.
Hello.
You've heard all this information. Thank you again, Giblert. We'll be coming to you live throughout the cast, looking for some insight between rounds, depending on how things roll. Thank you again. We'll see you soon. Unicorn Wizard, you just heard all of that breakdown. What's your feeling? What's your vibe? Taking the information that you just received and also what you've been looking forward to tonight. Who do you think's got the edge here? What's your prediction?
I think just based off of in individual level, like kind of was mentioned, I would put it more on Estrogen. I just think that, no disrespect to Catgirl Cafe, but I think that as individuals, the skill level's a little bit higher on Estrogen. However, one thing that you'll find in, I think, Snakewater especially, is if you can't get those last pushes together, if you can't get those sacks in for whatever reason, if that team play is a bit then you're going to struggle even if your team is the better team. So, I mean, I feel like it could go either way, but if I'm a betting man and, had money to bet with, I would say Estrogen. Maybe I don't know, a 4-2.
Insightful. Yeah. The whole point of the real, getting your chops as a TF2 player is how well can you push into a last point like Goalie Wash or Snakewater. Because if you embarrass yourself with we Ubered, we got their thing, and then all of a sudden all your players are dead and they held, right? You just look like a fool. But I think given that, right, in terms of what Giblert was saying, the team coordination has been showing up from Catgirl Cafe, and I think that's gonna pay off in spades for those kind of mid fights. And if you win the mid fights, you can start making your way to the last. And if you're a coordinated team like Catgirl Cafe, then you're making those last pushes look like nothing. So I got to go the opposite. I'm going 4-3, feeling up those, I'm feeling a vibe from the Catgirl Cafe tonight.
I guess it. Oh, go ahead.
Go for it, Giblert.
I just want to make my quick prediction. I'm thinking 3-1, 3-2 in favor of Estrogen. I think Catgirl Cafe, it depends on a lot, just how well they're able to clean up the last pushes. They're only watch the last pushes, just miss some really key opportunities. But if they clean up, I think Snakewaters will be easier, just in my personal opinion, to push. So we'll see how that plays out. And, another thing getting Estrogen, this is more superstition than anything, because the roster is very different. But last time these teams faced off in the previous season, Estrogen won both matchups against Catgirl Cafe. So, one thing to think of, just a little extra factor there.
Roger Dodger. Speaking of factor, shout out to our sponsor for this week. We've got Fireside, sponsored by Factor. We are so happy to be sponsored by them. You can game on a healthy mindset with your first order on Factor 75's website using our code, which you can find by typing !Factor. Get 50% off the first order. Boom. So much free food. And you get 20% off the next 4 weeks, which is basically a whole nother extra meal, a couple meals right there between that 20% off 4 different times. Use the code in the chat, in the description, the about page. You know where it is. You know what it's about. Thank you, Factor, for sponsoring us. Really good gourmet food, folks. And speaking of gourmet, the Catgirl Cafe is ready to serve up once they are readied. We do see one team ready. That is Estrogen Took My Homie. So we should be going live here very shortly, Unicorn.
That was a good segue. I like that.
You got to give it to Giblert, man. The alley-oop. The perfect send-off to get us on track.
We're only 15 minutes late for a TF2 match. If anyone here has not watched a TF2 match before, 15 minutes late is basically early. I've had, in my experience, have had many matches start 45 minutes late. It doesn't seem like we're going to be there though, so I'm very thankful for that.
I kind of wish the players in the game would reset the server, because right now it's going to give us some distorted logs, I'm pretty sure, unless they reset the config or something. Because we were hopping in the STV just as they were finishing up their scrims, the Catgirl Cafe, and It didn't reset. We're just kind of in the middle of the end of the last one. So that could affect the logs, could affect the STV for submitting all that kind of stuff with RGL. I don't know. Maybe we should notify the players, get that straightened out, and then we will be going live here shortly. But yeah, last thing we can say here real quick, Unicorn. Overall, I would say that the experience tends to err on the side of Estrogen took my homies. A lot of good names, big, strong players coming through here. But really, it's all going to come down to these mids. And what do you think is going to be... which demo do you think is going to be making waves?
I'd say Sleepy is probably going to have a bigger impact, at least early on. Just, with those two, because we are live as I'm saying this. But I think early on, Sleepy's going to have a bigger impact. And then it just kind of depends on what team can take advantage, how they adapt to that.
We'll take us through that first mid. Where's Sleepy doing?
Sleepy they're about there at the same time. No real damage yet. Both teams just kind of posturing for position. Just a lot of spam. Yeah, no one's really committing or doing anything right now. Just some spam. Mopsy's walking forward a little bit. I think maybe we'll see a Soldier Bomb. And yep, here comes Grape Juice. Bombs on the medic. Good damage on Pablo. Does get taken down, and Pauly's down as well. Oh, Estrogen seem to be losing the bit. It's just Quacks. Oh, just Quacks left. And they know exactly where they are. And yeah, I mean, gonna get taken down maybe at some point. Maybe they're just gonna ignore them behind. But I mean, that was all off of Grape Juice. Grape Juice bombed in, didn't get killed immediately. Had like 2 or 3 people at least looking at him in addition to the medic, and his team just followed up really well. So now they're walking in. Oh, Quacks kills Mopsy. He's still behind actually.
Yeah, causing some mayhem from the back lines. They got to decide right now, are we going to stay back or stay forward? Right now, I think it's better if they just wait, but they want to push for the super advantage before it dwindles. However, they do know that they are technically going into a 5v5, but Quacks is quickly reconvening. The Uber has now gone to the last, and they're taking straight to the gun, instantly downed. They're going to rotate to the other side, try and stick it off, but no one's capping the objective. There's sticks all over the point, and Quacks just now meeting up with the rest of the squad, taking out the tower scout Naba. Oh, sorry, tower soldier Nabla. So now it's just kind of a reset here for Blue. They have to pull back, play a little bit defensively, but they got the sticks lined up, coming out from Averted. Doing a very good job of slowing things down.
Mopsy on Spy. I don't think they expect this. If they can get into, no one's checking for it. But Scream is kinda, or not Scream, excuse me. Alfred Levine Fan 95, wonderful name. But yeah, no one's expecting it. I mean, they're kind of expecting something, but here's the spy play. They got 2 people coming back. I mean, yeah. Oh, wait, Pablo died in that.
And Grape Juice is still alive!
What? He's got 3K?
Grape Juice is lit right now. Oh my goodness. Just setting these players on fire with a couple of rockets up their ass, and boom. Well done. Just incredible timing with the synchronized rockets.
And they still have
timing,
use.
getting on top of Electro Heart.
They still have use. Well, if this isn't the round, I will be very surprised. Just 3 people alive. You can see all of them on the left side. They just use in on a scout. They need to kill someone. They lose Gwendolyn. Wait a second now. Our Sleepy and Quacks are dead, so this can still be one. Yeah, okay. That got a lot closer than it needed to be. Yeah, Grape Juice is getting a 3K. I think I wasn't on his cam. I was on the spy cam. I think he was hiding on bats. Or he just high bombed it, but regardless.
It was a high bomb, just came in and then landed on the battlements. Was able to get that kind of, play that angle.
Oh, that's that team play, right? They played off each other really well. They knew exactly what they were going to do, and it worked out. I'm personally going to go on the Grape Juice cam, because his high bomb completely won them the mid last round.
Man, we're talking about these, like, standout players. Like, no, Catgirl Cafe doesn't really have any standout players. Man, Grape Juice has been playing this game for a long time. Grape Juice is great at the game. Just demonstrating it with that awesome 4, technically a 5K. By the end of that, goes straight in, instantly taken out, though. Nabla, that is, rather. Grape Juice following up closely, taking an exchange with Quacks. Gwendolyn keeping the aggression on the point, and Mopsy close behind on the right side, pulling the attention away from the bombing soldier, potentially. Grape Juice now going on top of the saw. Instant dome into a 2-shot, 2 clock. Takes him out. All these players crumbling, but now it's just Averted alone with June. Not gonna be able to play this mid, but at least got the med out.
Yeah, I mean, the best you can hope for in both scenarios. Your med dies and you get the point. You kill the other team's med, but you get out with yours with Uber. Like Catgirl Cafe are probably fine with this, but I would assume they want to go relatively quick because the longer you give Estrogen to set up, the more chance you are, you're going to die to those traps, you can die to spam, whatever. And it looks like they're slowly walking into Saw here. Nabla's through. They're clearing sticks.
The name of the game here is you gotta clear the ground. You can't just do a little bit of this, a little bit of that,
Electra
and
Heart
use...
all the way behind on second.
Yeah.
That's a pain train.
Woohoo! I love seeing the pain train, but Electra Heart does not like seeing it. All those scatter guns coming at you, but a great delay nonetheless, because now Pablo, 85%, getting up to that 100%. They gotta push now. They're going straight through kitchen. They're wrapping around. Gwendolyn calls for the Uber, but they have to get on top of it. No, Mopsy was just behind and missed the last shot before it was too late. Pablo getting that Uber off now, and they're trying to catch these players on the escape. Not quite fast enough though. No catching stickies, no bombing soldiers. They're very careful. They're weary when it comes to these averted stickies now coming all over the place.
Nice pipe on the Quacks. They're taking some good spam, although Scream runs down Grape Juice. It's like a 4v6 at this point, because that spawner still isn't there, and they're just going to get out. Quacks high bombs, but it's more of space than anything, and we're just going to see Estrogen take second, and probably a last hold. Maybe a quick sat coming in from someone here. Maybe they wait for Uber.
Ooh.
Looks like they're just going to wait for Uber, it seems like. No one seems like they're in a position or feels that need to really go in deep. Scream's in lobby just kind of peeking, but yeah, both teams are going to get Uber. There's a gun up. We're just going to see a sack or two here.
Things are looking up though. Both teams now feeling themselves, deciding what's the best way forward.
They're all getting buffed right shutter.
Oh, Sleepy. A lot of freedom. There's no stickies in front of the shutter. I can just kind of peek, get these, lobbing these iron bombers down the way. Quacks gets the gun as well. So now with Electra Heart Bomb dying, trading, the gun got taken down at least. But Sentry Gun is not quite as important as a soldier.
Yeah. I mean, it gives them a little less security if they want to go for those peaks because the gun isn't there. But yeah, you're not going to see anything come of this. We do have a spy. Is it just checking? Yeah, just checking. No off classes on Estrogen, so it looks like just another sat coming in.
No, it looks like they just want to get everyone right through the window, straight through the old drop down. They got Pablo just lined up, getting the heals out. Sleepy trying to grab Juice. Grape Juice getting arrowed up. Both soldiers now playing tight defense on this shutter. No entry whatsoever. They're going to have to reconvene and decide where else to go. Birded playing that right side very cautiously with a myriad of stickies above the doorway, so there's no entrance there either. Red, you got to figure something out here. What's going on?
I mean, they do have 2 minutes, but yeah, they're not really sure what they want to do here. Med eats a pipe, actually, or someone eats a pipe.
Cool.
Yeah, they're not really sure what they want to do. They really like trying to shove through shutter, but Catgirl, the cafe is not really giving them anything. Like Grape Juice is playing on a good, or not Grape Juice, excuse me, not was playing on a good spot. As soon as that peak comes in, they can just drop down and not take any spam there. Sat comes through, good bomb, but the gun with the deny. Med surfs out to spawn, no harm done. Grape Juice, nice shot. But yeah, 1-for-1 trade, minute and a half left. I mean, Catgirl Cafe aren't going to push out, so you're going to see, I would expect, yeah, they're probably just going to try to push in 6v6. You don't really have enough time to do anything like a spy or a sniper and set that stuff up. You just kind of got to go with it now. So maybe they're going to shove in that right or lower, see if they can get that pick. It looks like they might want to go in lower to take out the gun. Sleepy's there, but Mopsy's playing.
Mopsy just peeking around the corner, completely unaware.
Yeah, it looks like they want to go lower. I'm pretty sure they're just going in. Yep, here they go.
Uber goes straight to the gun, takes it out instantly, forces the counter Uber coming out from June. Just kind of peeking their way through the ramp, finding the way up, getting some spam, and the rotation through the window is now helping them move back in on these players. Pablo's not going to be able to get enough healing out here. Sleepy getting dumpstered from behind. Grape Juice doing a very good job of keeping that. Oh, but Grape Juice was the only one left alive, and the overall success came from Estrogen Took My Homie just getting the key frags on that left side.
Yeah, we were talking about the team coordination of Catgirl Cafe. That was perfect out of Estrogen. They knew exactly what they were going to do. They were going to use in, force the other team's medic, get the gun, and just bail. And as they bailed, they immediately went, some of them went shutter, the rest of them went left, and they all went, they looked, I think, the left side of the point, and they all just went, got that damage, easy kills. And we are on the next mid.
Averted though. Not really getting any good angles with these stickies. Potentially getting something. Looking over here at Pauly playing that high ground, now has to rotate back. Nice little jumps, using the explosions to get some more hops, some more hype, get some aggression onto this point here. Pushing forward, Gwendolyn also taking a lot of spam, has to pull back. The aggression is open, Electro Hunter cracks need to go in, but now Grape Juice goes in first, gets the initiation, some good damage, takes out Pauly. Okay. But June is left alone with Quacks and instantly demolished.
Oh, Grape Juice wrong way, brother. No, like ships in the night. Wait, do they? They can still lose this.
No.
Okay,
this is heavily going in favor of the blue team. They've got the aggression, they've got the picks. Med is all the way out. Pablo meeting up with the rest of the squad, starting with their forward. Grape Juice. No, not sneaky enough to make something happen there. But I was feeling it for a second.
Yeah, I mean, these mids are so weird. Like, it doesn't really seem like Estrogen are really putting too much aggression into it. Like, they're waiting for Catgirl to do something. And, like, counter aggression is fine. Actually, as I say that, they're pushing in with that Uber advantage. We'll talk about this later. They got through. They are, looks like, clearing sticks. Good span out of Nabla, actually. But they just need to leave. Their med's at 70. Like, best you can hope for is a force here. Right?
I mean, you're supposed to get the force. That's kind of textbook 101 when you're letting the enemy team kind of poke their way through. You got to get some spam, some kind of coordination to get that med force so that they have to use. But this is also just as well, you know, you're setting up for a defense with Uber. You're not losing any players, not playing a numbers disadvantage. But, you know, I should took my homie. They're kind of feeling it out. They want to go forward now.
Here come the soldiers. Woo! Drop down a soldier and get the drop.
Heart getting the kill on June.
And, I mean, it's worth it, but you got to be careful. Yeah, exactly. This is why you got to be careful. It's a 4v5. All fragging classes up. You get forced. Now you're in this weird position. They just need to be gone. Pablo might be dead.
Gwendolyn, flanked from the kitchen, gets a nice bit of meat onto Pablo, but Pablo surfs it to the corner and stays just barely alive. Scream doing a very good job of keeping the medic alive. Pablo now healing up the rest of the squad to make their way through the lower part of mid and reclaim what is theirs. This mid is ours. You cannot take it. Catgirl Cafe now have to find out what's next. What's next on the docket? How are we going to play this? They're building up that Uber.
Yeah, I mean, Estrogen could have pushed in there. It was a 5v6, and neither team was really set up, but they weren't super confident about it. It's 1-1. There's no need to really go for those super aggressive plays. So just going to see the Ubers even out. It is about a 20-25% ad for Estrogen. I don't know if they know about it. They should. They should know their medic spawned earlier, but it doesn't look like they're in a... they might want to go forward of this. I'm not sure. Now they're mustering like they want to. Yeah, it's late now, though. It's way too late.
However, this is what happens a lot, is you'll see players, like, they'll get to 100% and then they'll start buffing. Nah, you gotta start buffing before you get to 100%, so as soon as you get it, you can start closing that gap. But the averted trap! Left side of the lower, and now the bombs are coming in, desperately trying to find anything they can get. Quacks falls, Pauly forward, not gonna make anything happen. Sleepy just throwing some desperation traps of their own, trying to slow things down on this mid. Scream going for one last play, a Hail Mary that whiffs. It's just going to be this. Can it happen? No, the detonation goes off. Does not catch any players, but will be playing a nice little tight defense here. What? No, Quacks.
Did you see this spy?
There's no way.
Wait, alright.
Averted.
Well, no, the scout's coming lower, so this might not do anything. He doesn't know the scout. Oh!
It's going to happen here. This is the decloak spot. I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
Cloak and dagger. They know. All right, he can call where they're going, but he's got to go now if he wants to have any impact. They heard him.
And a late death, no less. Very unfortunate. The least you could do is at least, you know, grab someone who's not getting Ubered, but doesn't. And now it's going to be... Actually, Electroheart is kind of wrapped from behind, getting some good damage on a Mopsy. Pulling the players back, but no, Nabla's doing a great job. These soldiers have 9 kills apiece in this round alone. These 2 lives. It's 2-1. Catgirl Cafe, what do I say?
Yeah,
coordination is on fire right now.
these last pushes are really good. I mean, Catgirl, every time they've had the position to do it, they've done it and executed perfectly. I want to see.
Real quick. What have you been seeing? What is Cafe? What's going right? What's going wrong?
Yeah, I mean, really that round is just all came for that one mistake, that one drop. I think the mids are going great for Catgirl Cafe. I know they talked about in the past that had trouble getting the follow-up on their bounce, but looking a little bit better aside from maybe one of those mids. But hey, it's working so far.
There we go. Thank you for that quick, beautiful, succinct analysis. And now this next mid, thankfully, is going nice and slow. I like where Grape Juice is. The bomb comes high from Quacks just to pull to attention. Electroheart going forward, getting some great damage onto Mopsy, and a nice pipe follows up. But Grape Juice came in late, and now they were waiting for it. Quacks grabbing up another 2 kills onto both soldiers. It's a full retreat now coming from the Catgirl Cafe.
That was an interesting approach because, like I was trying to say earlier, every single mid, as Estrogen are just going to take second, every single mid out of Catgirl has basically been Grape Juice shows forward, and then some, you know, his team does something behind that. This mid, he sat in kitchen, and it seemed like they wanted to wait for Estrogen to aggress, and what Estrogen did is they sent some soldiers in with high bombs, but they didn't commit off bombs. They bombed in, and they just, well, as heavily being pinned down, there's a lot of weird fighting going on. All right, 1 for 1. All right.
Oh, but there's so many weak players under lower. But they backed out. There was no one else to capitalize on it. Blue team is playing defensively. Catgirl Cafe waiting patiently on their last. Electroheart did try to go in there earlier. We saw did not work out.
Yeah,
the
but
flank jump scare.
But yeah, it really feels like they're kind of relying on that one piece of aggression and following behind that on these mids. And if that aggression doesn't work out, or if that aggression isn't there, like we just saw in that mid, they're not exactly sure what to do. As we see we got Pauly on Sniper, someone on Blue, I didn't see who was on Spy, I think, to check. Grape Juice, I believe, was, but we'll see if they actually did check. Pauly slow peeking left. I saw them on the class, but we'll see if they actually. He's peeking left.
Gwendolyn, don't peek. You have so much to live for.
Oh, they know. Well, they know now.
Pauly
What?
not getting the shot, just waiting very patiently like they're a cozy camper. Doesn't have it equipped. And now the bomb comes in from Grape Juice saying, no, you cannot do this. Pushing them out, giving them a nice little aggression, the counter aggression, you should say. But they're playing around it nicely. Pauly's gonna get another shot off if they let him.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine. Like, the sniper can't do a huge amount from this left position unless you give him a lot of space. As Scream goes in, immediately dies. They lose 2 off this. Quacks is hurt. The sniper's hurt too. They lost Quacks, so this should be pretty free. They're just gonna walk in. As long as you don't, stand still so the sniper destroys you, you're gonna have this.
There we go. Perfect.
Goodbye. They can keep this rolling, honestly.
Yeah, and Grape Juice is so far forward, keeping the aggression up. Sleepy, very low on HP, finally getting arrowed up. With 2 down, the respawn's not going to come through either. They have a 2-man advantage going into this mid. I don't know if they're going to be there quick enough to capitalize on it, though. Mopsy and Nabla already making their way through the window, getting some ground for the rest of the squad to come through. Averted now rotating through the main door. Sees the demo, gets some good damage. Pablo does not want to lose the demo man, and now they're going to be pushing forward. But this disconnect, Averted, no! Still alive! Finally dies. Man, June fled the scene, afraid to play with the demo there, afraid to get a bad Uber. See how that's going to play out for them.
I like this by Scream. They need to play off of him, though. Scream's in. Yeah, here comes that aggression. They need to get this Uber out of June. Nice shot on... Oh! June has taken no damage. It's a 1-for-1 trade, and they just need to leave with their tail between their legs. Scream goes down after taking out Grape Juice, and here come Catgirl Cafe. Pablo should be out for 3? Yeah, they're just gonna get out. Pauly's gonna die for it. They're gonna take mid. Depending on how cap and how frisky they're feeling, they could go into second off this. We'll see what happens. They're trying to deny the scout, which they do not. So I'm highly doubtful they're gonna go right in off it and maybe send in a sack.
Well, they can just take the ground.
Yeah, and they immediately thought, this pocket's in, immediately gone. We're just going to see some sacks. Although here comes Grape Juice into Saw. They know he's there.
Whoop. Good rockets onto Pauly. Oh, just barely misses out on the direct. Pauly stays alive. 7, really? Grape Juice complains in the chat. There's no better. Oh, man, Side note, I've been wanting to make a bind that just rotates through a bunch of really short responses, and really is going to be one of them. That's just classic. That's a classic thing to say when you die. Or when you get a kill, you just say really.
But yeah, Grape Juice back up. I mean, what do we got? 3 minutes on the round timer, 11 minutes on the map timer, 2 to 1, excuse me. Like, Catgirl Cafe aren't in the worst position right now. There's not a huge amount of, you know, reason for them to go. Obviously, they want those rounds, but they should be feeling pretty comfortable here. They're clearing sticks. I would assume Grape Juice is going to just fly in at some point.
Yeah, Grape Juice lined up at Saw, waiting on the back end. But Noble's the one near the window to make something happen. The aggression is coming through lower. There goes the opening bomb. Grape Juice gets some ground. Noble going to be close behind, or at least clearing things out through the Saw. Eyes are on it, though.
Off this. Grape Juice is in. Good damage on the demo. Gets the force, and he should die for it. Quacks died as well. That's a 1-for-1 trade, and you get the force. That's great.
Immaculate. Surgical, you could say. And now they're starting to make the way forward. The coordination is on fire right now. Noblet goes up, gets the attention, pulls all the random shots in the world that are never going to hit, and gives the rest of the team the freedom to walk forward. Full ad. They don't have the number advantage anymore, but, I mean, when you've got the Uber, when you've got the coordination, something's good's going to happen. Here comes the push.
Yeah, it seems like they just want to go right in, or are they going to wait for Grape Juice? He's getting here now, so they did end up waiting for him. Just get everyone buffed in. They really like bombing this right shutter. Yep, exactly. They're going to bomb the right shutter, and Avert is immediately going to bomb this left shutter. They've got them all trapped in, so now you just play the point, kill the people who bomb you on the point. Although it's 1-for-1, they've lost 2 for it. Wait a second. This heavy is just getting arrow tanked, and you need to leave.
Just not what you want to see. And now the Uber's ready in Pablo's hands, surviving that last push. I liked what Grape Juice did. Cleared the stickies to let the scouts start the cap. The soldiers came in, and Grape Juice was getting good damage on those soldiers that bombed to defend the point. But it wasn't enough. Gotta have a little bit more focus on the right side as well. Once you've rotated to that left side, it's a little bit difficult to do that.
Walking in lower, they should get this for free, trying to not let their med get forced, and yet no one's in a position to get the force. They will take mid. It is still a 25% ad. Not everyone is there, but it looks like they want to go quick off this. Getting deep, although they're getting kind of denied. The longer they take, they just use. Wait a second.
And now the Uber's ready for June, going straight away,
dead off
popping on the players.
Quacks
Grape Juice doing a very good job of cutting off the escaping players. It's a full wipe within like 6 seconds. That was insanely coordinated.
They had to have thought they had bigger ad than that.
Oh man, I don't know. Giblert.
Yeah, maybe.
Break it down for us. What was that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was just a classic miscount situation, but that's really like 3 Ubers now. They've just gone absolutely terrible. 2 times, just Pablo popping, getting forced out of position, trying to save players, but the other team is so far away and wisely playing that way that they end up just, with full ad once again. So 3 really bad Ubers. I took my homie, putting them now in this position to go down 3-1.
Uber's in their hands. Unicorn. Are we seeing the right side push?
I would
Catgirl Cafe?
Yeah, so they really like to just go in through the right, take out the gun, and have their demo immediately bomb that left shutter. I'm on Averted's cam, and they lost the soldier immediately. He is doing it again, but what you need to do here when your demo is doing this, you need to have your other players to kill who's not in spawn, and they're just not doing that. They kept the medic, demo, and I think a soldier in spawn, but everyone else was left alive and putting damage out. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but Nobla still is not alive after that. Pablo's got a 50% ad, and they're coming out.
Yeah, they got all this room to grow, excuse me. And grabbing this point for free. Grape Juice, rest of the squad are just getting set up. Nobla also. They have the soldiers available to try and get some forces here. A sticky trap or something, just to like force the issue. Don't let them walk in for free. They decide to just use it right away though, and there's nowhere to be found. That's kind of difficult to do a blind pop through the window, or at least straight through the doorway, and not know where you're going or what you're doing. And as a result, the Uber just got them the point. Didn't really get anything. Grape Juice, at least a little consolation prize, but that doesn't mean much. Now the Uber's ready in the enemy's hands, and they're coming in.
Oh, they're so deep in kitchen already. Look at this. They haven't even used yet. And they're not... Oh, now they use. I was going to say they're not going to use. Gwendolyn chasing down Quacks. Not going to get the kill. It's like 1 or 2 people behind. They need to kill these people behind or just push forward. And they're not sure what they're doing. There's 2 people on the back cap. Are they going to stop mid? Quacks wants to. They do stop it. The back cap ends up working. They have a scout going to last. Wait a second. And there's no spawners. I think this is just the round. Yeah, this is the round.
Didn't even need the pain train. Electroheart was just timing that coordination well with the squad and playing a nice tight defense so that the scout could close it out. Excellent stuff coming out from Pauly and Electra Heart there. Next mid.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my point, though. They need to kill those people behind, or else that's going to happen. So let's see. I've been saying this grape juice aggression has been a really good hallmark of their mids. It didn't happen last mid. Let's see if they do it this time. They usually, they've waited a few seconds, 10, 15 seconds each mid before he goes in. It seems like that's what they're doing again. Estrogen haven't really wanted to do anything resembling aggression. They just kind of posture a little bit. And yeah, no one's really forward. Scream and, Avril Lavigne fan. Oh, yeah, here he goes. Here goes Grape Juice. He's in. Our team is going off. Grape Juice is just behind now, so they know he's behind. He's getting good damage on Sleepy. Electra Heart does go down. Grape Juice just kind of jumping around. He does good damage and gets eyes on him. So that was actually, he didn't need to get the kills there. He got eyes on him. He got people worried about him. And then Electra Heart got caught forward as the team aggressed on him. And they're continuing to go off this huge jump in by Grape Juice. Nabla's fighting Cheese. I don't like health on Catgirl Cafe. Mopsy's gonna go down. It is even Uber fight. You should leave. If you're Catgirl Cafe, you need to leave here. Yeah, no position, fail. That's fine.
I didn't realize you were also a coach for a Catgirl Cafe. They're just following your orders. But that's really good insight. These players know it's good to get out. Keep your players alive. Play the game you want to play. Don't be in a position where you're like, oh, I don't want to use here, or I don't want to die here. No, you got to play it smart. Electra Heart didn't get quite out in time. Really good aggression from these flank players, looking lower, making sure that Electra Heart does not cause any issues for the rest of the squad. And now they're trying to make their way forward with that number advantage, but Gwendolyn very low on HP. Mopsy not even buffed. This is just really, really dry. Nabla now going straight to the battlements. And Quacks, all these soldiers flying through the sky and nothing's happening from it. Nabla falling down. Now it's just completely switched 180. They're down a player. And now, looks like Estrogen Took My Homie wants to take the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, use that advantage. Take some, take some spam fights. Oh, and Pauly just eats, 100 damage, and they're gonna back up off that. I mean, yeah, we're at the point now where both teams are kind of like, I'm not gonna take a fight that I'm pretty sure I can't win. They're not gonna take those 60-40 fights that, you'll see a lot of teams take it. I feel like they're going to really need to feel confident about this. Gwendolyn kind of posturing forward. They are just peeking forward. It's Grape Juice in. He does go into Cheese off that. Quacks doesn't get taken down off that aggression. They have two people in Cheese. Grape Juice is behind. They know he's there, but what are they going to do about him? Nothing, apparently, as Electra Heart goes down and Grape Juice is still behind. This is a horrible situation for Estrogen. They need to go forward with this Uber and then leave. They need to get the Uber out of June and leave, and it's not going to happen because it's just a scout. And yeah, just get out to last. Tuck your tail between your legs. Run.
Oh, this is looking real nice for the Catgirl Cafe. Full advantage, going straight through lower. They don't have to worry about any gun either. No sentry whatsoever. They're going to just start walking forward. Milk the Uber best you can. June pops. They're looking players left and right, but they got to clear the point. Soldiers jump up, take it out. Nice. Both fall to the hands of Grape Juice, who's also pulling some attention on the left side. The aggression from Scream, though, is going straight into these players. The combo has no idea what to do. Sleepy also just piping non-stop. One last soldier falls. It's an escape from June and inverted. What went wrong there? What?
So they got the soldiers. I think what happened is they weren't calling exactly what they wanted to shoot. They knew they wanted to kill before they went to the point, because you can see there's no pressure on the point. But they weren't sure exactly what they wanted to shoot. What a main caller should be doing there is saying, okay, shoot this, or shoot these players here. Instead, they kind of got turned around. They lost some players, and by the time they got maybe in a little bit better position, Sleepy was just piping everything. So we're gonna see them coming in. It's a 15% Uber ad. They use it. They really like these. Yeah, they really like these. Oh, okay. Averted dies off it. That's a good pick. At the same time, though,
here comes the paint train from Gwendolyn. Nabla jumps on the point as well. They've got the Uber themselves. They gotta just decide what they want to do. And Gwendolyn was left out to dry, completely alone. There was a counter call there. Gwendolyn was going forward, and someone said, "No, we got to get out." And now they've just lost players for no reason. Gwendolyn could have escaped with them if that counter call, or at least something, was a little more coordinated there. And now it's falling apart. Estrogen Took My Homie. They're pushing the advantage. They're going forward. They're getting aggressive. They're getting the drop from Quacks, sitting on the battlements.
Oh. And Mopsy's dead. This is not. And Namla's dead. Yeah, this is going to be the round. They don't have Uber yet, but it's a 3v6. One team has a med, one doesn't. I mean, the heavy can only do so much. It's 300 health. There's no heals. But
Oh,
the med
man.
is up now. Give this heavy a buff right now. Buff your heavy. Get him up to 450. Well,
If you're
they got off.
Estrogen took my homie, are you sitting on this real quick? Are you waiting 30 seconds? I think they are.
That's interesting. Okay, not a bad idea.
They're currently on a point where they just need to win one round. They can wait the 30 seconds, push, or like, you know, let them get the Uber back. But like when you're in this position, you just need to win the round.
That's true.
They're gonna go now. They want to try and time this maybe. They're getting immediately in. They're gonna use their Uber advantage to make sure that they don't have to deal with an Uber coming out from June.
Oh, so much damage in the spawn. Nabla's dead. Grape Juice is
on
dead.
point. They're not gonna cap it though. They're gonna wait.
June
They're
needs to
waiting.
June somehow needs to get
Over
over
the
here.
fence.
Dead. It's just averted. Dead.
It happened. I figured this would happen with this config, but I never figured someone would be like, they would get in this position where they take advantage of it. They wait for the 3 seconds. Round limit set. Boom.
Wow.
GG. I fucking saw that, like Neo through the Matrix. I knew it. I felt it in my bones. 50 seconds? Yeah, we can wait.
That's honestly, you know, the more I think about it, I'm still getting used to this rule set because I have not played anything. I've never played this rule set, and just thinking about it more, yeah, that's actually the right play. Like you have all that ad. What's 20 seconds gonna do? You know the med's not gonna get for a long period of time. They knew what their plan was. They're gonna bomb in. They're gonna shutter. You know, get the stickies on the shutter, kill the people who aren't inside the shutter, and then what? So what if the med gets Uber? They're down like 2 or 3 players. You can just kite the Uber, and it worked out perfectly.
And on top of that, a mistake some players might make there is they're going to wait until like 15 seconds left when they have the Uber ready. No, they pushed at the perfect time, the opportune moment. 66% on June, and they were instantly going for the frag. They were like, we got to get these picks, got to get these picks. And then they just wait for the spawn wave to finish, and then boom, 2 seconds left, finish the cap. Textbook, supreme skill coming out from these players. And you know what? Giblert, you called it. You said 3-1, 3-2. You were on the money. But did you expect it would have been a let's wait 30 seconds and then finish the game?
Oh, that's absolutely perfect timing, like you guys said. Really don't see that very often, if ever. But yeah, just perfect timing. Just knowing that you can't wait the whole time, can't let them get Uber, but at the same time, just picking the perfect timings, the way it worked out. If you want to metagame it even more, what Catgirl Cafe should have done is after they maybe lost one, just all sit and spawn, and then either they cap and you go to another round, or they let you get Uber and then you can Uber out of spawn because it would have gotten Uber before the time expired.
Yo,
but that's definitely like heads up thinking. It's hard to expect that.
That is even, dude. I want to play. I want to play TF2, man. Under these rule sets, there's like so many like very like those minor decisions where it's like, hey, we got to let them just win this round or just sit and spawn. And they were kind of sitting and spawn. They did a great job with the resupply bind too. Their heavy got down to like 20 HP and whoop, instantly resupplied. But yeah, you know, it's tough because you're like, let's get in there. They should have waited. Waiting would have probably been it. You know, force the issue or give themselves the best chance to at least come out fighting and take it. But yeah, it's just hard to like see that far ahead.
They would have got
metagame the metagame.
Yeah, right before the time expired, so they could have popped out of spawn feasibly. So it would have been difficult. I mean, in terms of positioning, but it would have been doable. So I mean, again, that's just a really hard thing to think in the moment. To do that math, can't blame them for not doing that. But I think once again, kind of like what we saw against Greasy Dot Hogs. It just seems like the last the first couple looked okay, but I think what we saw also in the Greasy Dot Hogs match, just a lack of togetherness, lack of post-Uber positioning and focus fire on these last pushes. Because the initiation looked, I liked the averted bomb one side, regroup on the other side. But it just seems like in some of these like post fights is when Estrogen regressed, we're just able to focus things down, get free kills. And I know that it felt like there was enough point pressure at certain times. There was I think one last push where it looked pretty good, but I'm not sure if there's just 2 clicks on point, not getting shot off, or what's happening there exactly. But and even then, like when they got the 2 soldiers, when they rebombed, got those 2 free kills, that looked like an absolutely one last push. Could have kept them in the game, but just not able to really get those last few kills, and Scream really went crazy, got tanked there, got a nice return revenge kill, and able to hold on to that, and yeah, it ended up paying off. Estrogen took my homie, winning 3-2. I think some other factors to keep in mind, the meds looked really good for Catgirl Cafe, just not able to do enough off them, unfortunately.
These logs. tell a whole story as well. Because when you look at the damage, right, and the kills, Grape Juice, Averted, Gwendolyn do an excellent job in the damage and the kills department. And you're like, whoa, Catgirl Cafe, they've got the frags, they've got the damage. What happened? It was a backcap round. A whole ass round was lost. Doesn't matter how good your coordination is. It was like Unicorn said, that decision to go back to try and handle those players that are behind. They decided not to. They were like, let's go forward. And they pulled off an entire round.
Yeah, like you said with the stats, it was kind of a similar story in the match versus Cat Posse, the other Cat team, not this one. That was a 4-3 game, which pretty much went to like almost 0-0 on the clock in the last round. Even though they had less kills, had less damage by like 5,000, had like 9 more med deaths, 5 less Ubers. Estrogen still made it pretty much like a dead even game, which I guess it's just the coordination, just the little things up, making these little plays, playing the map better, playing the macro game a little bit more. I suppose that's same thing happened this time, like you said with that backup play, just playing the map a little bit more, being a little bit creative.
Yeah, and I mean, the stats, like you said, the stats never tell the entire story. Like a lot of these rounds, like when you look at the rounds that were won, the rounds that Cat Posse, or excuse me, Cat Girl Cafe, too many cats. The rounds that Cat Girl Cafe won, they won fast. They won the mid, and the rounds were over within 5 minutes. Every other round was over 5 minutes. Even that back cap round was 5 minutes 50 seconds. So, like, they were winning those quick rounds, but when they were getting more into positions where it was turning into a grind, they were making those more mistakes, and Estrogen's kind of punished it. And again, that back cap can't be overstated. That's 2-2. You go to overtime, but nope, game's over.
Yeah, but I think probably the one criticism I would have of Estrogen Took My Homie, obviously a very good win here, going up now 2-5, wrapping up their phase 1. But it just seemed like there's like 3 or 4 situations where they just gave up the team so much space and lower, and then ending up popping in a really bad position, just getting kind of backing themselves into a corner, and popping to save the demo, and then getting absolutely nothing out of it. I saw that a couple times on second, one time on mid, I think another time on second. It just felt like that was the main thing that really put them on the back foot a couple times. Just I'd have to definitely go back and replay to see exactly what events led to that, but that happened a good 3 or 4 times. That definitely could have made it a little bit cleaner game if those things were cleaned up a little bit, I believe.
And yeah, regardless of the shortcomings of some of those last pushes from Catgirl Cafe, overall the team did seem to demonstrate a commanding performance off the coattails of Grape Juice's damage and kills, topping the charts on both accounts in these logs. What other things do we see, like any noteworthy things, some players doing something hot? Anything else? I see that Averted, that's a stat line you like to see on your demo, man, is 13-6, twice as many kills, nearly the least amount of deaths in the whole server. That's also very noteworthy. But also kind of unfortunate when we realize the final score line goes against Averted's favor, just by pulling out a great performance there.
Yeah, kind of interesting to see on the flip side, Sleepy going, not dying too much either, only going 5-8, but still top damaging his team. And, I think that's just kind of his playstyle. He's not like one of those psycho demos doing, not saying he doesn't have the DM, but he's not one of those like insane people who's just holding W like some people do. He's very like controlled demo, just doing like the very standard stuff and doing it very well.
Playing with the team, not trying to be the team, It's very easy for demos to like you say, do the WM1 kind of thing and lead the charge. But Sleepy playing very, very tight and close to the team, supporting them.
Yeah, but only done 2 more times more than Averted, so not exactly. Bad. Still staying alive very much.
Exactly, that's the key factor. Speaking of factor, not intentional, I swear. Factor, shout outs to y'all sponsoring Fireside Casts, giving us these nice, sweet deals to give to the people. 50% off your first box. That's so much food. And then 20% off over the course of your next 4 boxes. Factor 75, code, the link, everything you need to get that hooked up. Supports this stream, supports our work, our cast to bring you this awesome TF2 action. Really great job from the players, both teams. Thank you to Factor for supporting us. And I think we can break this down. what do we want to say? Final words, final shout outs. Giblert, talk to the people.
I think that's about it. I mean, we talked about the big things. Obviously every little situation you pick apart, but overall, the team's very evenly matched. I like that, Catgirl Cafe, in spite of it, get really close, still playing very confident, willing to take space, which paid off for them when it happened. It's just cleaning up those last pushes, as we said before, and as in the previous cast as well. I think that was a big thing that kind of swung this match, even though it seemed like everything else went pretty well for them in a lot of the match. The mid-fights were somewhat in their favor, as well as a lot of these getting the forces, really good position by the Estrogen took my homie, all things considered, really heads-up play, getting the back cap, getting that last push, having the foresight to know they have the right amount of time to wait, and then executing the last push perfectly. So hats up to them. Great job to both teams, and thanks to both Ro and Unicorn Wizard, obviously, for casting the game and be a part of it too.
I just wanted to say the one word you used for Catgirl Cafe in that, confidence. That is exactly what I would say. They demonstrated a lot of confidence. A lot of invite teams, maybe they're in the lower part or maybe in the middle part of invite. But what tends to set them apart is when they carry themselves. And I felt they carried themselves with confidence. A lot of the times they were going into pushes with plans. They were, they were stepping up to the plate, as it were, and demonstrating that they have a place in invite. And I think that's really what really I'm looking forward to for the rest of this season, to see them display that confidence. They're not just pushovers. They're here to play. Unicorn Wizard, any shout outs?
Shout out Grape Juice. Man
Yes.
was going off.
Oh my goodness.
It's unfortunate when you don't get the win, but he was really playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
That's the on Roamer. Like when you're top fragging, almost top damaging, on Roamer,
yeah.
like you're having a good day. So shout outs to him.
I remember one minute, I think this is the second, when he bombed in, kind of by himself in front of everyone, and just instantly two-shot the med and did a ton of damage to everyone else, just kind of solo carrying that mid and getting that med pick. So yeah, great Grape Juice this game.
All right. Shout out to Dr. Underscore leading us through this production tonight. Shout out to Factor sponsoring Fireside Casts. Again, check them out. Hope y'all who entered a prediction got some big payouts. I mean, Estrogen Took My Homie was probably the favorable pick, but all you Catgirl Cafe believers, you were close, and I was with you. I'm a believer with y'all. I'm looking forward to Catgirl Cafe the rest of the season. And Estrogen Took My Homie continuing a really dominant performance in this middle of the bracket invite. Shout outs to Chance as well. And I think with that, we're ready to sign off for the night. It's been an excellent night of TF2. We had Jamon and Mocha on Highland earlier. We had Giblert, Unicorn Wizard, myself, Ro, rocking it up tonight. Hope to see y'all later this week. We've got plenty of TF2 action. You just gotta get into the Discord. We give announcements every single night before we do a cast. You can also subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of ways you can keep up with the TF2 action. Shouts to all you viewers. Y'all make TF2 what it is, and we appreciate y'all. So take care, much love, and stay safe.